Félix Vallotton, a pioneer of modern expression. Félix Vallotton, 1865 to 1925, was a Swiss-born painter, printmaker, and writer who became one of the most influential members of the avant-garde art group known as Les Nabis in late 19th century Paris. Recognized for his sharp-edged woodcuts, subtle portraits, and psychologically charged scenes of bourgeois life, Vallotton bridged the worlds of Post-Impressionism, Symbolism, and early Modernism. His work combined an analytical detachment with profound sensitivity to the undercurrents of human behavior, making him one of the most distinctive artists of his era. Early life and education. Félix Edouard Vallotton was born on December 28, 1865, in Lausanne, Switzerland, into a respectable middle-class family. His father, Guillaume Vallotton, was a wealthy druggist, and his mother, Louise, came from a cultured background. From an early age, Félix displayed a talent for observation and drawing, often filling his notebooks with precise sketches. At 16, he left Lausanne for Paris to study at the Académie Julian, one of the city's progressive art schools that welcomed international students. There, Vallotton trained under Jules Joseph Lefebvre and Gustave Bunge, who emphasized traditional academic methods. Although he learned rigorous technical skills, Vallotton was dissatisfied with the rigid conventions of academic painting. Paris, however, exposed him to a new world of art, Impressionism, Post-Impressionism, and Symbolism, all of which would influence his development, early career, and breakthrough. In 1885, at just 20 years old, Vallotton exhibited his first portrait at the Salon d'Artistes Independents. His early paintings, often portraits and self-portraits, revealed a meticulous style influenced by the old masters, particularly Holbein and Dürer. The precision, clarity, and psychological intensity of these works set him apart from many contemporaries. By the early 1890s, Vallotton became fascinated with printmaking, particularly woodcut engraving, which was experiencing a revival in avant-garde circles. Inspired by Japanese ukiyo-e prints, he began producing stark black and white woodcuts that soon earned him international recognition. His series of prints, such as the Indemites 1898, depicted modern urban life, couples intense encounters, bourgeois interiors, and street scenes, with a mixture of irony, detachment, and quiet menace. The simplified forms, flat surfaces, and dramatic contrast of light and dark made Vallotton a pioneer of modern graphic art. Les Nabis in artistic development. In 1892, Vallotton joined Les Nabis, a group of young artists including Pierre Bonnard, Edouard Vuillard, and Maurice Denis, who sought to break away from Impressionism and experiment with flat planes of color, symbolism, and decorative art. While he shared their interest in surface simplification and spiritual meaning, Vallotton's temperament was more reserved, ironic, and intellectual. His association with the group, however, reinforced his belief in art's capacity to distill psychological truths rather than merely depict visual reality. Throughout the 1890s, Vallotton became well known as both a painter and illustrator. His woodcuts appeared in leading journals such as La Revue Blanche, and he illustrated books by contemporary writers. His art was admired by critics and collectors who appreciated his unique blend of modernist austerity and biting satire. Marriage and financial security. In 1899, Vallotton married Gabrielle Rodriguez Enriquez, the daughter of a wealthy art dealer associated with Bernheim Jeune Gallery. The marriage not only brought him financial stability, but also introduced him into the affluent Parisian bourgeois world, a subject he often scrutinized in his paintings. While his own political and social views leaned toward skepticism and irony, his new environment provided a wealth of material for his explorations of domestic life, tension, and intimacy. Mature style. After 1900, Vallotton shifted away from printmaking and concentrated more on painting. His mature works often portrayed interior scenes filled with a quiet but unsettling psychological tension. His figures, sometimes stiff and mask-like, seemed caught in moments of unease or suppressed emotion. Works such as La Chambre Rouge, 1898, and The White and the Black, 1913, exemplify his ability to capture the complexity of human relationships with a few subtle gestures, glances, or spatial arrangements. He also painted landscapes, still lives, and nudes, but always with detached, almost clinical precision. His landscapes were often painted from memory, emphasizing simplified shapes and tonal harmonies rather than naturalistic detail. These works anticipated aspects of modern abstraction while retaining a poetic and contemplative mood. Role as a writer. In addition to painting and printmaking, Vallotton was also a novelist and critic. He published several works of fiction and essays on art and society. His writing reflected the same ironic, analytical spirit that pervaded his visual art. Through his words as well as his images, Vallotton sought to dissect the hypocrisies and tensions of modern